Hi again. In this video we're going to look at quadratic equations in one variable, how to solve them, and then we'll do a few examples. First off, what is a quadratic equation in one variable? Well, it's an equation that can be put in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, as we see here. This is just a general form. A, b, and c are just real number coefficients. This type of equation is also called a second order or second degree equation because we have the variable raised to the second power at the most. Alright, so say we're given an equation, a quadratic equation of one variable. How do we solve it? We use what's called the zero factor property, or sometimes called the zero product property. So if we have two algebraic expressions, and we have an equation that says that the product of these two is equal to 0, then we know that either A is 0, B is 0, or both A and B are 0. Right? This is a very powerful situation to have. It's a very nice situation to have because this would allow us to take something like this, write it as a product of two things equal to 0, and that allows us to break it down into simpler things. And these are going to be, for quadratics anyway, linear equations. Right? And we already know how to solve linear equations. So that'll allow us access to the solutions of these quadratic equations. Right? Very nice. All right. So we've got three quadratic equations here. We can see they're all quadratic. Let's look at the first one here. 4x squared minus 12x equals 0. That's quadratic. It's an equation, first of all, equal to something. Right? And the highest power of the variable is 2. Right? Here, this is a single variable equation in y. It's also quadratic because we see 4y squared over here and 3y squared over here. So also quadratic. And down here, we've got x squared minus 8/3 equals 5x over 3. Also quadratic. It's an equation. It's got one variable in it, and we've got a square. Here is the highest power of x. All right, let's go ahead and use this zero factor property to solve these quadratic equations of one variable. Okay, so this one, it's already set equal to 0. Right? So it's getting very close to this form where we have factors equal to 0. On the left-hand side, though, we have a difference, not a product. Right? So we need a product first. And so we'll try to factor this if we can. And you can see there's a way to factor this. We've got 4x squared minus 12x. There are some common factors here. First off, an x is common to these two terms, and also a 4 is common. So we can factor out that. So let's factor out 4x. And if we take 4x out of 4x squared, we're left with just x. And if we take 4x out of 12x, we just get 3. And we've got the minus sign there, so minus 3. All right, that's good. Because now we can use the zero factor property. We have two algebraic expressions equal to 0. And these two algebraic expressions are in a product together. So 4x times x minus 3. All right, that means 4x equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. And you can see what the solutions are. 4 times something is 0. That means x must be 0. X minus 3 equals 0. That means x equals 3. So solution set would be 0 and 3 for this first equation. All right, let's look at the second one. We have 4y squared plus 11y plus 8 equals 3y squared plus 22y minus 10. All right, we might notice that this is not equal to 0, and so that's going to be our first order of business. We want to make sure that it's equal to 0. Then we'll worry about whether we have factors or not. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side you move things to. You can move everything over here to the right-hand side or everything from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And so I'll take this side over here, and we'll just subtract it. So minus 3y squared minus 22y and plus 10. All right. So it's going to give me y squared, negative 11y, and then plus 18 equals 0. All right, now we're working towards this. We have y squared minus 11y plus 18 equals 0, and now we need to write this as a factor. You can see that this is a different situation than the previous problem. In the previous problem, we just factored out common factors from these two terms. This is a trinomial. It's got 3 terms in it, and so we need to use what we know about factoring a quadratic. Now, since the leading coefficient here, that is the part next to the y squared, is 1, right, we only need to look at this constant term. And we say, okay, plus 18. Right? What factors of that, right, add together to give us negative 11, if there are any? Right? Well, we know that 18 happens to be 9 times 2. Added together gives you 11. In particular, negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18, and negative 2 plus negative 9 is negative 11. All right. And so we can set up our factors. First off, y and y, because we need y times y to get y squared. And then we get negative 2 and negative 9. All right, let's multiply this out just to make sure that we are right. Y times y is y squared. Good. Y times negative y, negative 9, sorry, is negative 9y. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. So that's negative 9y minus 2y is negative 11y. Negative 2 times negative 9 is plus 18. We're good. All right. Now we have two algebraic expressions in a product equal to 0. And so that means that either y minus 2 equals 0 or y minus 9 equals 0. And you can see the solutions from here. Y is 2 or y is 9. All right, let's look at the last one. X squared minus 8/3 equals 5x over 3. And the first thing I see about this, not that it's equal to 0, it's that it's got fractions in it. And I don't like fractions, and most people don't like fractions. But when we have an equation, we have an out, right? And that out is we can clear the fractions. Right? So in this case, the only denominators that I see are 3's. So I can get rid of all the denominators by multiplying both sides by 3. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to multiply the left-hand side here by 3, and the right-hand side by 3. Okay, so 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 8/3 is going to be just 8, so minus 8 equal to, and then over here we have 3 times 1/3, we get 5x. Okay. Much nicer, right? Much nicer. All right, so we'll subtract the 5x to get everything on one side, so 3x squared minus 5x minus 8 equals 0. All right, and now we'll solve this. And this is going to be a little bit tougher to factor than this one because the leading coefficient is not 1. Okay. Now there's different ways we can go about doing this. We can just what's called brute force it. We can just try all the different combinations of 3 and factors of 8 here until we get a solution. We could use the quadratic formula. We'll talk about that in another video. We could also complete the square. We won't talk about that right now. I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and use, let's just see if we can find the answer. So the first term here is chosen for us. We must have 3x and then an x. All right, now the last term here is 8. So 8, we've got, let's see, 1 and 8. We have 2 and 4, and that's pretty much it. So 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. So 1, 8, 2, and 4, we'll try those. Let's see. So 1 and 8, 8 and 1. Yeah, 8 and 1, I believe, is going to work. So we need it to be negative, so negative 8 and plus 1. I believe that's going to do it, right? Because, so when we multiply the outside and the inside, we got plus 3x minus 8x gives us negative 5x. So that's what we want. A negative 8 times positive 1 is negative 8. So that's going to work. All right, well, we've got factors equal to 0. So 3x plus 8, sorry, minus 8 equals 0, or x plus 1 equals 0. All right, so this is 3x equals 8, x equals 8 thirds, or x equals negative 1. Okay, so we have talked about quadratic equations in one variable. We've used the zero factor property 3 times to solve quadratic equations in one variable. In the next video, we're going to look at special forms for these. We'll also talk about the quadratic formula.